Good evening, class, and welcome to Lesson 1.6, Multiply by One-Digit Numbers. Let's begin by taking a look at our essential question. How do you multiply by one-digit numbers? All right, to begin answering that question, we're going to start with our Unlock the Problem. Each day, an airline flies 9 commercial jets from New York to London, England. Each plane holds 293 passengers. If every seat is taken on all flights, how many people fly on this airline from New York to London in one day? So we're going to begin by using place value and regrouping. So we're going to start with step 1. Estimate 293 times 9. Remember, to do that, we have to think 300 times 9. And when we think 300 times 9, we see that we have a basic fact of 3 times 9. And we know that 3 times 9 equals 27. And then we have 2 zeros and 300, so we have to add 2 zeros back. So when we estimate, we see that there are 2,700 people that fly from New York to London in one day. Now, we know that our answer based upon that estimate is going to have to be very close to that. So let's begin with step 2. Step 2 is to multiply the ones. So we know that 3 times 9 equals 27, so we put our 7 in the ones placeholder and carry our 2 to the tens place. The next step is 9 times 3 ones equals 27 ones. So we're going to write the ones and regroup the tens. Now let's look at step 3. Step 3 is to multiply the tens. So we have 9 times 9. So we know that 9 times 9 equals 81. However, we now have to remember our regrouped 2's. So we have 8 tens, 81 tens, plus 2 tens equals 83 tens. So now we put our tens in our tens spot and carry the 8. Now step 4 is to multiply the hundreds. So 9 times 2 hundreds equals 18 hundreds, because we have our 2 times 9 equals 18 hundreds. And then we're going to add the regrouped hundreds. So we have 18 hundreds plus our 8 hundreds from there equals 26 hundreds. So we're going to write the hundreds, and that's where we get our 26. So in one day, 2,637 passengers fly from New York to London. Now, at the bottom it asks, how can you tell if your answer is reasonable? Well, the way that we can tell our answer is reasonable is we can compare our answer, which was 2,637, to our estimated answer, which was 2,700. And since 2,637 is close to the estimate of 2,700, the answer is going to be reasonable. Now, let's take a look at an example. A commercial airline makes several flights each week from New York to Paris, France. If the airline serves 1,978 meals on its flights each day, how many meals are served for the entire week? To multiply a greater number by a one-digit number, repeat the process of multiplying and regrouping until every place value is multiplied. So we're going to begin by estimating 1,978 times 7. And we know that when we estimate 1,978, its closest is 2,000. So 2,000 times 7, we have our basic fact of 2 times 7, which we know equals 14. We look back, see there's 3 zeros in 2,000, so we're going to add 3 zeros back on to our basic fact to get 14,000. Our next step is to multiply the ones. So we know that 8 times 7 equals 56 ones. And we're going to write the ones which is the 6. This is in the ones place. And we're going to regroup the 10, which is the 5. The next step is to multiply the tens. 7 times 7 equals 49 tens. So we're going to add the regrouped tens, and we have our 49 tens plus the 5 that we had to carry, so 5 tens, and that's going to equal 54. So we write our 4 in the 10 spot and carry our 5. Our next step is to multiply the hundreds. We know that 7 times 9 equals 63 hundreds, and then we have to add the regrouped hundreds. So 63 hundreds plus 5 hundreds equals 68 hundreds. So we're going to write the hundreds in the place. Now our last step is to multiply the thousands. So 7 times 1,000 equals 7 because the identity property of multiplication says that any number multiplied by 1 equals that number. Then we're going to add the regrouped thousands. So we have our 7 thousands plus the 6 thousands we had to carry gives us our 13 thousands. So that is the 13,846 that we received. So in 1 week, 13,846 meals are served on flights from New York to Paris. Now I need you to pull out your math journals, which you should have brought home, and you're going to copy the notes from this page into your math journal. And for your password is going to be kitten. So make sure you record the password in your planner so that I know that you've done your homework, and make sure you pause the video in order to copy the notes down into your math journal.